So what exactly do we do here at Longbourn Blooms? We're a cut flower farm, sure, but what does that look like? We've set up our season so we grow primarily in spring and fall. Starting in the springtime, we have daffodils and tulips, allium and larkspur, stock, and usually ranunculus, although we've had problems in the past. We also grow some perennials for springtime, including peonies, lilac, and even some viburnum. We also have annuals that we grow both in spring and fall that vary a little bit year to year. For fall, our big stems are dahlias and sunflowers. We also grow cosmos and celosia and some other seasonal annuals. It does change a little bit year to year because I decide one way or another that I want to try something new or something didn't quite work and we should see what else is out there. We sell these stems both wholesale to florists and wedding designers, but also in our flower shares, which are new in the 2024 season. A flower share is a variety of a CSA, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture, where you order your stems before they're ready, but then when they are ready, you get them prime time. For the 2024 season, we're offering both tulip and peony shares, and for fall, we will certainly be having dahlias. All the work designing for our field is done in-house. I do it myself. I decide what flowers to grow, when to grow them, how many to grow, and hopefully how well they will grow. Some varieties we start from seed, others like dahlia tubers have a tuber or a bulb, like a daffodil bulb that get planted, and then we also do order plugs in for some varieties, mostly for lisianthus, which are notoriously difficult to start from seed. Next on the list of things we do here are rentals of our greenhouse, which we call the Rosings Glass House. Our business name, Longbourn Blooms, comes from the book Pride and Prejudice, which is my favorite book. And in the book, our heroine lives in Longbourn. So I named our business after that. And when we were building our greenhouse, I wanted another Pride and Prejudice reference name. In the book, the characters go to visit a large estate called Rosings, and while there, the characters gossip about how expensive the window glazing was, which I thought was a pointed response for my greenhouse. While we grow fall seedlings in here, we also rent it out for photography. We've had the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, family photos, maternity photos, and all kinds of things in here. The next thing on my list is to support our native pollinators. So this is very important to us as business and as people. We took a half acre of grass from our front yard and converted it into a native pollinator meadow. We also do not grow anything considered an invasive plant or things that will be able to be spread into our wild areas. Some of those plants make very good cut flowers, but it's part of our promise to our natural environment that we're not going to be part of spreading invasives through it. We have already cut down a few plants, including some large viburnum bushes that are considered invasive and can be spread to our wild areas. And so when we realized that what we had done, we cut them down. It's really important to us to be good stewards of the land that we live on, and we don't want to increase the number of invasive species that have escaped into wild areas. The pollinator meadow is habitat for our local birds, our local bees, butterflies, and all of our pollinators. The next on our list is hosting on-farm cutting classes. So I really enjoy this. This is probably my favorite thing that we do. We typically hold these in the fall when we cut dahlias and the other annuals we have blooming at that time. We're inside rosings and everybody gets their own clippers and their own bucket, and they can just go to town out in the field and cut as much or as little as they want. Then we bring all the flowers back inside Rosing's glass house and we learn how to make a little bouquet. You won't leave this class knowing how to make your own bridal bouquet, but it is really fun, and I love having people here to see the flowers and see all the work we put into it. This is a great way to come do something with your friends that's not the standard going out to eat dinner. You get to learn something new, play with the flowers, walk around, and just have a great time. As I said, these are typically held in the fall, but we're always considering how we can add them to the spring as well. Maybe peonies soon. And the last thing I have on my list right now is dahlia tuber sales. So dahlias, when you plant the tuber, multiply, and when you dig them up in the fall, there are always more than when you planted them. In the fall, we dig up all the tubers we plant, which we plant roughly 400 or so, and then we have to divide them. Once divided, we store them over the winter, and then we sell them through our website. Dahlia tubers can be tricky to divide, they can be tricky to overwinter, they can be tricky to store, so it's really a challenge to get it all right. Over the winter, we clean and inspect the tubers, and we just keep an eye on them to make sure that nothing's going wrong with our storage plan, and then we sell them and ship them all over the country. So that's what we do here at Longbourn Blooms, but keep watching because who knows what we're going to add next.